Coming up, a deer attacks me for my oysters.
Help me, please help me. I'm spilling juice down myself. This isn't funny.
A deer attacks Mr. Editor for his crackers.
There's everywhere.
And I attack a sushi bar.
Hey everyone, I'm Daniela, and today I'm eating Japan. I'm spending 2 weeks traveling around the south of Japan, trying all of their most popular dishes and maybe a few you haven't heard of.
My journey is taking me from Tokyo to Nagoya, onwards to Hiroshima, then to Fukuoka, downward to BEPPU, and over to Matsuyama with a pit stop in NARA and then back to Tokyo.
So join me on this culinary journey and let's see how much I can eat. This is a honey cheese croquette. Oh my god, it's so good. You wouldn't think that honey and cheese are like a good combination, but this is maybe one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. It definitely makes up for the 14 hours of flying.
Honestly, it was so good, I went back the next day for another one. And if you want to find this, it's on one of the side streets next to the main shopping street in Osaka. To start off our trip, we decided to get omikuji, which are fortunes that you find at shrines or temples. What you have to do is shake the container, draw a stick, and match up the numbers. Open your drawer, and you read your fortune.
So I have number 25, regular fortune. Your request will be granted. The patient will get well. Marriage, employment, and starting a trip are all right.
Yeah, but I got best fortune, so
You did indeed.
suck it.
The vending machines in Japan are on another level, and they're everywhere. You can find them on the side of the road, in a car park, in a hotel. Pretty much anywhere you venture, you'll find a vending machine. They serve both hot and cold drinks, and you'll know the cold ones are cold with the blue label, and you'll know the hot ones are hot from the red label. Here I am trying my very first corn soup.
It's so good. Oh my god, it's so good. It's like fresh corn on the cob, really hot, buttery. It is so good. And there are little kernels in there too.
Time for a spot of breakfast at February Cafe. Their menus are seasonal. In autumn, you'll find chestnut flavors. In the winter, strawberries are in season. I opted for a latte and a cheese toast. The cheese toast is on a milk bread and they are cut so thick. The bread is really squidgy and there's a layer of mustard under the cheese before it gets melted. It was the perfect way to start the day. This is a konbini. We're at a typical 7-Eleven, and they have everything from snacks to baked goods to full-on meals.
So if you're in Japan and you see these chewy candies, if you have a look, some of them have numbers up at the top. So this one's a 2, this one's a 4. So these are the chewiness rating. So the higher the number, the more chewy the gummy is.
Melty kiss. Oh no, I don't think so.
This was arguably my favorite section of the konbini, the onigiri. And then we went back to our traditional Japanese ryokan.
We're going to try a classic Japanese snack, the onigiri. This is one of my favorite Japanese snacks. It's a rice ball and it usually has something stuffed in the middle, and this one's wrapped in seaweed. I got pickled plum, the umeboshi flavor. Pickled plum, it's got a really sour, salty taste to it, and it's kind of got a really soft texture, but it has a really nice flavor. But what they do with this packaging is so that the seaweed doesn't get soft against the rice. They wrap it really specially, so you have to open it 1, 2, 3, and then as you're opening it, the seaweed wraps around the onigiri, and then you can eat it, and you've got nice crispy seaweed. So let's take a taste. So 1, pull it all the way around, and then you just pull off 2, and you can see that's unwrapping the rice at the same time, and likewise with 3. Just give it a wiggle. Itadakimasu. The pickled plum reminds me of like a salt and vinegar chip, so if you're a fan of salt and vinegar, give this one a try. I love how crispy the seaweed is on the outside, and it's just really convenient. You can see why they're so popular. They do loads of different flavors. I went to 2 different 7-Elevens. One had a couple and the other was completely sold out, so on busy days people do tend to pick them up, but make sure if you're in Japan you stop by and grab one. These are kibi dango. It's a mochi that's dipped in soybean flour and it has like a peanutty taste. Itadakimasu. It's still warm. It's so good. If you like peanuts, you'll love this. And it's so, I can eat the whole bag, and I'm going to. Back to 7-Eleven and I found a cheese cream puff. This is a massive big cream puff and it's filled with like a cheesecake filling. And I'm not gonna lie, this is my third one, so I know it's good. Itadakimasu. It's the fluffiest, dreamiest cheesecake inside a really delicate shoe bun. The sweets that I've had so far here haven't been like super sweet. They're just like a really nice level of sweet. I could probably eat this every day.
Where's the corn soup?
All sold out.
All sold out?
No corn soup.
The rest stations had some really cool stuff, but I'll show you more later in the video.
Today I'm at Ghibli Park and I'm having a pork cutlet burger from Moz Burger. So it has a savory sauce on the pork. It looks like a deep fried pork piece and some cabbage on top in a bun. It's really savory, like soy sauce mixed with, well, it's just full of umami. It's really good. So we're trying two vending machine coffees from Georgia Coffee. This one is hot, comes out of the vending machine piping hot, which is amazing. And this one's cold. This is a bitter chocolate latte, and this is just a 0 sugar milky latte. You can tell it's sweetener for sure, but it's not bad as far as vending machine coffee goes. It's actually probably one of the better ones. So yeah, I'd definitely drink this. It's like if you took a chocolate sauce, like a dark chocolate sauce, and just stirred it into your coffee and popped it in the fridge. That's what this tastes like. It's not a flavor that I would typically drink. I don't mind it. It's not super sweet like a lot of the other drinks I've had here. But if you're not into sort of really bitter chocolate, it's probably not for you.
For dinner, we went for kaiten sushi. You order all of your food on your iPad and it's delivered via conveyor belt, straight to your table. There was so much variety, there's something for everybody. And we ordered a lot.
This is salmon roe and cucumber, and it is delicious. There are so many varieties. You can see from all of the empty plates that I've already been through a lot of it, but there are so many different amazing sushis to choose from. So far, of all the ones I've tried, my favorite has been the salmon and cheese. Weird combination, I know, but it is incredible. This is roast beef sushi. Never tried it before, it's a first for me, but there are other options if you don't like fish, so don't think you can't come and have sushi in Japan if you're not a fish lover. It's really good. It's roast beef, it's sushi rice. What's not to love?
And then I saw potato on the menu, and even though I was stuffed, I had to have it.
Potato tornado. I bet it's really hot, but I'm gonna eat it. Crispy on the outside, hot and soft on the inside, and lovely potatoey.
Lovely potato.
Lovely potatoey.
I stumbled upon an Instagram post a few weeks before traveling. This is the absolute dream, a cafe themed around black cats. It's called Chat Noir and it's just south of Kyoto. They had really cool cat merchandise, everything from notebooks to pens, water bottles, cooler bags, but they also had a selection of cat themed cookies and their entire cold counter had cat themed cakes and desserts. So obviously I had to try some of their cakes and pick up a few wares. Mr. Editor got a slice of chocolate cake, but I couldn't resist this adorable little black cat pastry.
a really soft chocolate cake base, and it's just the lightest chocolate mousse you've ever had. Covered in a really silky ganache. It's so beautiful. I'm gonna have to try and make this.
I really loved all the black cat touches, and I can't wait to visit again the next time I'm in Japan.
We're in Hiroshima at Okonomimura, which is the okonomiyaki village. There are 25 okonomiyaki restaurants inside, and you can sit at whatever one you want. They're all really standardized. Now, okonomiyaki is a cabbage pancake, and you can get different varieties from different areas in Japan, most notably Osaka or Hiroshima. So we're going to go try the Hiroshima variety, and that has noodles in it. Let's go! This is a happiness party in my mouth.
If you're traveling through this part of Japan, I'd highly recommend trying okonomiyaki. No trip to Hiroshima would be complete without a ferry ride to MIYAJIMA Island. They're famous for their oysters. You can see the oyster farms in the distance while you're riding the ferry. And if you think you've heard of MIYAJIMA, you probably have. It's famous for its standing torii gate. It also hosts a family of wild deer all over the island.
Oh, there's one behind you.
Where were they?
Oh, Chris, out. Oi, hey! Hey! There's nothing in there for you. Help me, please help me. I'm spilling juice down myself. This isn't funny.
At least everyone else had a good laugh at my expense.
We are on the island of MIYAJIMA, just outside of Hiroshima, and they're famous here for their oysters. So we've got some grilled oysters. We have two kinds today, butter and soy and lemon and soy. This is the lemon and soy, and this is the butter and soy. They're so fresh. The seasoning is perfect. There's no chew. They're just so soft and lovely. They are absolutely delicious. Let's try the lemon one. It's juicy. They're so meaty. The lemon really brightens up the flavor. Worth trying both. There are a bunch of different options in terms of flavoring, so please do try the oysters if you come to MIYAJIMA.
I also managed to find an okonomiyaki drain cover, and of course it features some of those oysters. And if you want to see my adventures on Cat Island, hit the join button below and become a member.
Oh, that was nice. I'm trying to work out how to order ramen. We are at Ichiran, which is a ramen shop just outside of FUKUOKA. It's a chain, so you can find them all over, but they specialize in tonkatsu ramen, which is famous in the region. And here you sort of sit by yourself, so it's like a private little seating, and you tick off what you want on your menu, and you pass it through to the chef, and they make your ramen and pass it back through the little pass section. Tonkatsu ramen is a pork-based broth. It's like milky and quite rich, so there are a few different types of ramen. Tonkatsu is one of the more rich flavors of ramen.
At this type of ramen restaurant, you can order as many toppings as you want. And if you're halfway through your dish and you want to order more, you can actually add them to your order. And no ramen is complete without a perfect jammy egg. And I love mine topped with a little rice wine vinegar. And when you're in Japan, slurping is actually a compliment.
Very delicious.
Breakfast the next day was so decadent. It was the perfect mix of Japanese and Western offerings. I'd go back to this hotel just for the breakfast alone. We made a pit stop at Nanzoin Temple in Fukuoka. This temple houses what's thought to be the longest existing bronze Buddha statue in the world. It's the same size as the New York Statue of Liberty, just laying on its side.
We stopped at a fruit and veg market in Fukuoka, and look at this daikon radish. It's absolutely massive.
I love exploring and seeing all of the different produce they have on offer.
This is for agadashi, for the eggplant. You stew it in this sauce, and it's like a sweet and salty, savory sauce. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. The eggplant just sort of melts when you eat it. It's really beautiful.
These are enoki mushrooms. You can slice off some of the base and then wrap clusters in meat and grill them, or just grill them on their own. They're so delicious, especially drowned in soy sauce. Japan is known for its very expensive fruit, but it is of the highest quality. I wish my Airbnb had a barbecue or a shabu shabu pot.
So these are a type of mochi that they cover in a sweet and savory sauce, and they're really delicious and chewy, and you eat them off a stick. They're so nice.
What an incredible selection of tofus. I wish that I could find this kind of tofu at home. They've got everything from firm to silken, and I'm always stuck with one in a little box.
So we've stopped at a rest station, we've picked up some yakitori, we've got the beef short rib and the pork rib, and we're in the car because there's a bit of a storm. It's really windy out and a bit cold. We really need more like food on stick type things. Like, this is incredible. It's so flavorful. He's only just seasoned it with salt and pepper. It doesn't need anything else. The charcoal here is a really specific charcoal, so it adds a lot of flavor, but it doesn't give like a burnt taste. It's really delicious. They're both delicious, but the pork just has a tiny bit of an edge for me because it has a little bit more flavor. If you come to Japan, yakitori definitely has to be on your eating list.
It is a present from the place where nature is rich. A cat goes today as well to deliver happiness to various place. Deliciousness for your relaxing tea time and for your happy talking time. Ooh, cheeky cheese!
I'm in BEPPU, one of Japan's most famous hot spring towns, made even more famous by the hit show Demon Slayer. But what excites me most about BEPPU is that they steam some of their food in the onsen steam. Let's give some a try. So I'm trying jigoku mushi, which is a pudding that's been steamed from the steam of the hot spring, and also an onsen tamago, which is an egg that is cooked inside its shell in the steam, and it's sort of a soft boiled egg, and they put like a really nice sauce around it.
Just look at that jiggle.
Caramel has a bitterness to it, and it really cuts through the silky sweetness from the pudding. It's so silky and smooth, and it has an ever so slightly sulfuric taste. This is onsen tamago, which you'll sometimes see translated in English as temperature egg. It's essentially a medium to soft boiled egg that's been cooked in the shell in the steam of the hot spring. And then you just crack it into the bowl, and they put a really nice, it's almost like a mirin dashi sauce around it. That sauce is just a beautiful accompaniment to the egg, and it's so creamy. It's the jammiest yolk you've ever had. Really lovely. We're trying chimaki, which is a steamed rice with some chicken and mushrooms on the inside. This has been steamed in bamboo leaf in the steam from the hot spring. It's perfectly seasoned with soy sauce, but the meat from the steaming is so tender. The rice is really sticky, and all the flavors really marry together really beautifully. I've got a purple sweet potato that's been steamed in the onsen. It's more starchy than, say, the orange sweet potatoes that you'll find in the UK or in Canada. You can see why they use it to make sweets. It's so good. This is butaman. It's a pork steamed bun, and it's been cooked in the steam from the onsen. Itadakimasu. Oh, that's the best one yet. The pork doesn't have a lot of seasoning, but it's full of flavor from the fat that's been steamed on the inside. It's really rich, so delicious. The bun is so soft from being steamed in that onsen steam. Absolutely amazing.
Look how sweet these cat-painted rocks are. And these ones even have tails.
Dinner tonight is yakiniku, which translates to Korean barbecue. You order your meat or your platter of food, and you cook it yourself right at your table using this fancy little grill. It's really tender. It's got a beautiful smoky flavor. The barbecue sauce is amazing.
Make sure to bring an empty notebook to Japan to collect all the stamps. And then we found a place selling all things oranges.
Why Why did he give me 2 bowls? I'm not sharing them.
Mr. Editor picked a tempura set with miso soup and Japanese pickles. These udon noodles are particular to Shikoku Island. They're a bit thicker and chewier than a regular udon. Oh, this was probably one of my favorite meals. I'm topping my udon with tenkatsu, which is the leftover bits from tempura, and some finely chopped green onion.
No trip to Japan would be complete without trying karage. Karage is chicken thigh that's been marinated and then deep fried. You can usually get these in 7-Eleven or Lawson's, and today we're trying Lawson's cheese karage. It's so juicy. Frying it really keeps all that moisture, and you can really taste the marinade. These ones have like a crispy, cheesy coating, and they smell so cheesy too. I've tried a few different flavors. This one's really nice, but the soy sauce one is great. Really, they're all delicious. Make sure you try it. This is a Japanese style steamed pudding. It's usually made with an egg custard, and it has like a caramel sauce in the bottom. And this one is sweet potato flavored. You can already tell it's super silky. The sweet potato it's just a really subtle sweet potato in the background, but it really brings the sweetness to the pudding. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Let's try and get some of that caramel sauce in the bottom. The caramel's perfect, not too overdone, just that tiny little bit bitter to cut through the sweetness. This might be my new favorite dessert. We're trying momiji manju. So typically you'd find red bean flavor pretty much all over Japan, but this one is a chocolate one, and we picked this up in MIYAJIMA. Momiji is the maple shape, so you'll always find them shaped like maple leaves. The outside is really cake-like, and the inside of this one is like a chocolate ganache. It's dark chocolate. It's really silky smooth. I've had a few different flavors. The cheese one is excellent. It's a sweet cheese. I've had an apple and cheese one. The red bean is a classic for a reason. Definitely check them out. They've got loads of different flavors, something for everybody. And that's momiji manju. From the first press of genuine malt for this delicious flavor. I'm at Matsuyama Castle in Ehime. This is one of the biggest castles in Japan, and construction started in 1602. But most importantly, they have a mandarin orange juice faucet at the top of the mountain next to the castle. You just turn the tap and orange juice comes out, and it's the best orange juice you've ever had.
Professional.
It truly is the most flavorful, best orange juice in the world.
On to NARA to make some new friends.
I'm in NARA, and today we have a bit of an unusual taste test. But I'm not the one doing the tasting. My little friend here is going to be doing a little taste test for us. What do you think? Is that nice? I think he likes it. Yeah, oh, you're welcome. Oh, that's my pocket. You can't eat that.
There's everywhere.
We're trying the Osaka version of okonomiyaki.
This version is more of a batter base, and it's more heavy on the cabbage. The Osaka version also doesn't have any noodles in it. But which one do I prefer?
I can't choose. I love noodles, but I love that there's more cabbage in this, or larger chunks of cabbage. So it's got bigger pieces of pork in it. It could just be a varietal difference. It's really delicious. I think anywhere you go, you're gonna love it. This looks so good. It's an apple custard roll cake. And you can see it's got the custard in the middle and an apple like jam on the inside.
Each rest stop in Japan features a local specialty, so if you're driving around, make sure to stop at as many as you can. You'll get a lot of fresh food, there are bakery items, and special items specifically from that region.
We've stopped at a service area just outside of Mount Fuji, and they make these adorable little Fuji-shaped cakes. This is a cream-filled one. Oh. They take their dairy very seriously in Japan, and this cream is delicious. The bread is also really sweet and light. It's a really nice treat for when you're on the road.
Thank you so much for watching, and let me know down in the comments, have you ever been to Japan? And what's your favorite food? I'd like to say a big thank you to my friend Heather, who played tour guide for us the entire journey around Japan. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.